Hello, I'm Mark Cohen, president and publisher of the Jacksonville Business Journal. And I sat down with CSX Corporation, one of the leading transportation suppliers that is growth-oriented and forward-thinking. The network encompasses about 20,000 route miles of track in 26 states, along with District of Columbia, Quebec, and Ontario. The network serves some of the largest population centers in the nation. I sat down with the leadership team to discuss their vision, challenges, and how they're navigating the future, and more importantly, delivering value to their customer. And I'm here with Kevin Boone, CSX Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer. How are you?
Great to be here. Excited to talk a little bit about the railroad.
Excellent. Glad you're here. Let me start with this. CSX transports so many goods and commodities that businesses and consumers use every day. Out of all these market segments, which are you most excited about?
Yeah, I think this old saying goes, you love all your children equally. Similar to what we do here, we don't see a great growth opportunity in markets. We're looking for ways that we can help the customer reach new markets. But there are markets that we see with great growth attributes. Waste is a market where you see in the Northeast, they're running out of space and they need to move that longer distances. On the intermodal side, which is our consumer-facing business, really a lot of great growth opportunities to take trucks off the highway. And so as you look at the economy and how it's evolved from an industrial economy to more of a consumer economy in the U.S. today, we are really focused on that market and creating new lanes and new opportunities for our customers to reach destinations that they haven't reached before. There's other markets. We're seeing a lot of industrial development that I think we'll talk about later in the segment, but we're seeing a lot of industrial development coming to the U.S. for the first time. We've seen a lot of manufacturing move away from the U.S. into China and other markets, and now we're seeing that come back. And really that's a part of the post-COVID era where you want to be closer to your key consumers in other areas. So really leaning into that effort as well. But there's a lot of markets that we see growing. There's others that are not growing as much as we would like perhaps, but we're looking at ways where we can open up and expand the addressable market for those.
I know strategy is important to CSX. So what are some of the strategic initiatives that CSX is currently pursuing to enhance growth and profitability?
Yeah, I really would bucket it into the three things we're really trying to do well. First is the service side, and you're going to talk to Mike, and really focusing on that customer experience. What really matters to the end customer is different from market to market. In some markets, they care about how quickly you get the market, and others, it's about having the car up against them every day and that service consistency. So really understanding what the customer wants and having that consistency and that service reliability is number one. That gets you in the door for a customer. The other thing that we're thinking about a lot is the technology. How do you make it easier for the customers to do business with us? There's a perception out there that the railroads are very difficult to do business with. It's very complex, all those things. How do you break down the barriers? You can get on a phone today and order a truck. How can you have that seamless interaction with a customer where they think, if I need to have my freight moved, I can do it easily with a rail service. And then finally, it's expanding the addressable market. What are we doing to reach more customers? Are there new services like new gateways to Mexico that we're starting that we're working on with a Western partner? Are there new markets we're going to reach, like in New England, which are really starting up and providing new services there? So it's really, I think those three things are the core to what we're trying to do.
So much is made of the opportunity that exists from railroads, from highway to rail conversions. Where does CSX think potential for success against trucks is?
We're a consumer-led economy, right? When you think about the growth areas for our economy going forward, it's very consumer-facing. You think about the Amazons and all these things that have emerged over time, particularly through the pandemic. And so we're looking at new lanes, new opportunities to reach those customers. How do we work with that, our end markets and those consumers, and what are they trying to do? What markets are they trying to reach effectively? When you think about our service, it's really providing value through cost and also the environment, right? And those things, and it's taking trucks off the highway that decreases congestion in our city. So there's winners across the board. It's getting that message out to our customers and even the end consumers, and having them understand the value proposition that we offer is going to be impactful for us.
CSX has had some fairly recent acquisitions. You're a growing company. You're always looking to move ahead. Can you discuss how these factor into the CSX growth strategy?
Yeah, when we think about acquisitions, really, to our core is how do we drive more freight to the railroad, right? So whenever we look at any acquisition opportunity, it's going back to our core business, which is the railroad, and how do we expand that market share for the railroad? And so 2 acquisitions we made here recently. One is Quality Carriers. This is a trucking company. And really, it was looking at our largest market, which is chemicals, and how do we address more of that market? There's a lot of freight that moves today adverse to the railroad on trucks, and having that visibility now owning a trucking company allows us to look at lanes that we currently aren't enjoying and really going after that. So that's been very exciting for us. We created a new product, which is the ISO tank product around that as well, and patent that with our customers. So we're seeing a lot of traction and honestly in a very poor trucking environment today. So we expect that can continue to gain traction, continue to win share with our customers. This is reaching customers that we quite frankly wouldn't reach before because we can combine the truck with the rail. Then on the other side is we acquired a short line, the largest short line in North America, Pan Am Railroads, up in the New England region. And it's an opportunity to reach a new market that we've never reached before, to make an investment in a railroad that's been underinvested for a long, long time, and creating a single line of service. So now we allow customers to reach markets like the Southeast in a very efficient and quick manner, so they're able to compete in those markets, maybe where they weren't able to compete before. So it's very exciting. We're at the very beginning of their growth story in both of those acquisitions, and there's a lot of room to run.
That is exciting. How does CSX plan to maintain competitive advantage in the rapidly evolving transportation and logistics sector?
I think it all starts with technology, and we have a big undertaking in terms of what we're doing on the technology side, and we talk a lot about it internally. So we are moving our all of our data to the cloud, and that's going to allow us to access it in a different way. I think today, in current state, we don't have the visibility to all the changes that are happening in our business on a real-time basis. And so having it transition over to the cloud and having that real-time data visibility is going to allow us to make decisions that are more proactive than reactive. And I'm really, really excited about the journey we're on. We're at the very beginning stages of that. That's really how you're going to stay ahead of your competition. How do we have technologies that make it easier to do business with? That's ultimately going to win in the market, and that's really what the focus has been.
I think this is a topical question for a lot of companies. There have been a lot of talk about manufacturing relocating back to the U.S. in this trend called reshoring or nearshoring. Are you seeing this in your business, and what is CSX doing to capture these opportunities?
Yeah, probably the single biggest growth factor that I'm excited about, or probably is most impactful to our business over the next 3 to 5 years, is the industrial development that we see coming back to the U.S. So if you think about our business and the challenges we faced over the last few decades, is we've seen manufacturing move away from the U.S., right, to places like China, Asia, other parts of Asia. And now what we're seeing post-pandemic is a lot of customers are coming back to the U.S. because they want to be closer to their customer than consumer. They faced a lot of supply chain issues and other things. They're seeing the value without the labor arbitrage that they saw in China. Now that doesn't exist anymore, and it's more valuable to be close. So our goal at CSX is really to educate these customers on the value of CSX, what the railroad can provide as they move back, and what are the things that they need. What are the sites? So we have a site selection program that is shovel-ready programs that are out there for customers to immediately get a space of land that's already been approved by, already has the resources from a electricity perspective, manpower, all those things are in place so they can get started very, very quickly. So it's a huge driving factor of what we see in our growth opportunities going forward. I will say it's across a number of industries. It really is a very diverse book of business for us that we see coming on the railroad, whether it's auto, whether it's on the metal side of our business, think about steel, even markets like agriculture, where we're seeing new export opportunities come along. It's really across the gamut in terms of those factors. So very, very exciting. We're really leaning into it. We're investing in our team that's out there every day, educating the population on what the benefits of rail are, and making sure that we're on the forefront of when these decisions are being made, and that they prioritize rail, quite frankly, which historically probably hasn't been the case, and really getting those businesses onto rail that have historically moved on to truck.
If a logistic manager or business owner watching this video wanted to learn more about the rail, and if it could be a fit for their needs, how do they do that?
Well, first of all, we got a great sales and marketing team. So we're one phone call away. We have the tools online. So if you go to our website, you can find all the basics around how rail works, and the explanations there. We have a great customer service group that can walk through all the complexities of railroad and really demystify some of those complexities. And it's really not the challenges that maybe customers have faced even 5-10 years ago with technology. We really solved for a lot of those things. So I would encourage you to reach out to our group. We're here to help, and we're excited to talk about growth opportunities.
It seems as if CSX does a really good job of partnering with others. That's something you do well. Can you talk about that a little bit and the importance for your company?
I think it's about the culture, and you probably heard from Joe a little bit about the One CSX culture, and it's bringing our customers along as well and being able to partner and solving for the complexities that exist in the market today. What we see in this post-COVID world is the volatility is much greater. We're seeing it in our customers' businesses and things like that, and our ability to react quickly, communicate, partner, whether it's partnering internally and external partners. That's the key to our success, is being able to be successful there.
It's important.
It is.
Kevin, thank you very much. I really enjoyed this.
Appreciate being here. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.